3AW is football.
Why are crowds down?
Well, they're down at the MCG and Etihad primarily, but could be a combination of reasons, Neil. One could be the mix of games. One could be the issues around variable pricing that would perhaps has got an effect. One could be form of the teams when you consider Carlton, Richmond, and in particular, and Essendon, when they're not firing, that has an effect on crowds. But on average, Neil, up until this time, the average crowds per game are around about 32,900 odd, and last year the average was 33,000. So on average across the board, we're still getting much the same average because crowds in South Australia are up and WA, they've been very strong. But you need form, particularly with our strong Victorian teams, and really Collingwood is sort of almost, almost waving the flag from a strong club perspective with their crowds.
Waving the flag, Collingwood, what do you mean?
Well, they drive a lot of the crowds, Neil. You know, when they're firing, and they are playing well at the moment, their averages are up above 50, 60,000 people at the MCG, and that drives a lot of the crowds. But normally we would have a Collingwood, Essendon, Carlton combination, or a Collingwood, Essendon, Richmond like we did last year. And this year you're seeing Richmond, Essendon and Carlton aren't performing that well. But
on the figures reported this week, the Etihad crowds are down 11.7%, MCG 6.7%.
Yeah.
That's enough to be worried about, isn't it?
Of course, and we worry about crowds because we want people to go to the football. I'm very confident that'll be turned around before the end of the season, particularly with a number of games as we get towards the end of the season and some of the more good matchups. But any time the crowds are down, it's a worry now.
3AW is football.